Introducing the 2025 Mazda BT50 SP. Always considered the uglier younger brother to the Isuzu D-Max, since they share the same platform ever since 2020. However, with this latest iteration, can it finally dethrone the D-Max as a better alternative? And could it be the best looking ute on the market today? My name is Salvatore, this is Exhaust Notes Australia, and we are going to find out just that. Right, the biggest changes on this BT50 have to be its exterior design. Because frankly, guys, the previous generation just looked absolutely hideous. It looked like what Mazda actually did was grab a CX-9, chop its face off, and put it onto a ute body because it was just a Frankenstein of a ute. It was just absolutely ghastly looking. This, however, looks the part. It is aggressive and pretty. I love these new LED front headlights. I love this new grille that is gloss black with this ginormous Mazda badge on it and a little plaque there that says BT50 in red to show everyone that you're driving the SP, the top of the line. This bull bar obviously is not standard. It is an optional extra. However, it is covered by Mazda's 5-year warranty. So if something goes wrong with this, it's covered with the car, which is pretty good. And you also get 5 years cap price servicing, which is really nice. The bull bar, however, does cost just under $4,000. So it is pretty pricey, but all bull bars are. The car itself is priced in at $71,500 before on-road costs, which is a bit steep. However, it is not that much more expensive than many of the other options out there, because let's be honest, utes are becoming increasingly popular and increasingly expensive. Let me know in the comments, guys, do you think they're getting a bit ridiculous in their pricing, or do you think it's pretty much warranted because of what has been changed on utes these days to be more of a daily ute for the family rather than just a workhorse? Let me know in the comments below. As I mentioned, all the accents are finished off in gloss black. So that includes the door handles, the roof rails, the sail plane that has BT50 embossed on it, and the wheel arches. I wouldn't have chosen, if I was Mazda, to make these gloss black, because the thing is, we all know piano black shows scratches very easily, and this car is bound to have some pinstripes on it, if you know what I mean. The wheels, however, are 18 inches and they're finished off in gloss black. And this side step looks pretty rugged and mean if you ask me. The rear design, well, it's a ute, guys, so I'm sorry, they all look the same when it comes to the rear. You really can't do too much. Nonetheless, you have part LED rear tail lights, a BT50 badge there, a 4x4 badge there, and a massive Mazda badge. If you open the rear tailgate, it's nicely dampened. Unfortunately, it does not lock with the central locking, which is a shame since you're paying over $71,000. But what is cool is you get a roller shutter retractable tonneau cover. You also have a really nice plastic tub liner. You have a tub width of 1,530 millimeters, a tub length of 1,570 millimeters, a tub depth of just under 500 millimeters, a payload capacity of just over 900 kilos, and a brake towing capacity of 3.5 tons. Right, let's talk about ground clearance, approach angle, and departure angle. Starting with departure angle. Departure angle is at 17.9 degrees. Your ground clearance is at 240 millimeters, and your approach angle is at 27 degrees. However, this has the bull bar, so it'd probably be a little bit more. Okay, so what do you get on this SP version? Well, you get a more premium interior, but still has old school, robust plastics for longevity. What does that mean? Well, you've got this leatherette at the front here with this terracotta red stitching, but further back you get scratchy plastic. Then you get scratchy plastic here, leather on the door card where your elbow mostly sits, leather here on the center armrest, and you get these glorious sport seats that are half terracotta red leather and black Alcantara through the center with their BT50 badge embossed on the headrest and then terracotta red stitching down the middle. They're very supportive and very comfortable. They're also electronically adjustable, but only for the driver. I do really like the combination of old school robust materials and the new premium materials that have been heavily used throughout the Utes that are coming out today. The screen is now updated. You no longer have that screen that never had physical knobs, which I hated. This, however, has physical knobs, thank you, and it measures in at 9 inches. What I do hate is that the actual buttons to go back to the home screen and so forth, you cannot see. They're right here, and they're haptic feedback. What? You had it, you almost had it, and then you screwed it up with that. But nonetheless, the screen itself, very clear, very responsive. It has wireless Apple CarPlay, which is really nice. And it also receives the tire pressure monitoring system that we saw on the Isuzu MU-X, which is really neat. Down here, you've got dual climate controls with physical toggle switches, which is really nice, and it feels pretty premium. Come further down, you've got a USB-C charging port, also screen mirroring down here. You've also got a 12-volt socket. Unfortunately, you don't have a wireless phone charger. You have to option that, which is stupid. You got your 2 high, your 4 high, and your 4 low, so your 4-wheel drive modes. Move down the center here, you've got your rough terrain mode, which we've seen how well that works. Your rear locking differential, heated seats for both outboard seats, and then your parking sensors and your hill descent control button. Physical gear selector, manual handbrake, thank God. 2 cup holders, decently sized door bins, and pretty decent glove box. More storage above the glove box, and under here in your center glove box, hey, it's big enough to fit this little bag that I use, so not bad at all. Your driver's display, it's half digital and half analog, so that means your rev counters on your left, your fuel and your temperature gauges are all analog, and then your speedo is electronic. I do like this combination because, again, this will last the test of time instead of just having one full digital display. So I really do like that. All in all, guys, I really do like the cabin in the BT50. It feels very premium, and again, a mixture of premium but old school, robust materials that we are soon forgetting that utes should have. So I do like that mix. Let's head into the back and see what the rear legroom is like, because at the end of the day, this car, or this ute, is going to be used for families. Okay, so what's the second row like? Well, to be fair, it's pretty decent back here. I have plenty of room to stretch out underneath the seat in front. I have plenty of knee room, and I have decent amount of headroom. In terms of comfort, guys, well, you have 2 cup holders here, 2 decently sized door bins, a little pocket down here, 2 air vents, a USB-C charger, pockets in the back of the seats, a hook here for your business coat or maybe groceries, plus more storage underneath the seats, which I'll show you. So you jump out, you pull this little lever here, and you've got storage under here, which is finished off in the carpet rather than just exposed steel, which is really nice. In terms of fitting baby seats, where you have ISOFIX anchor points on both outboard seats plus top tether points. Other than that, guys, that's pretty much it. Let's take this ute for a drive and see what it's like on the road and being used as a daily driver. I will note that unfortunately, guys, we were unable to take this properly off-road because we just didn't have access to it today. And I'm so sorry about that. But if you do want to see how capable this 4x4 setup is, go check out our Isuzu MU-X review, because it's basically the same. Okay, so what's it like to live with day to day? Guys, honestly, I'm quite surprised. It's actually a very easy ute to live with. It's not too big, so when it comes to parking in the city where I live, it's pretty easy. Visibility is really good. Ride is pretty decent, except for the fact when you do get out onto the open road, it does like to bounce a lot when the road becomes a bit wavy, which is a bit irritating. But around town, it's quite comfortable, and that's a lot to do with these seats. They're very supportive and very plush. I do really love these seats. Honestly, I love them. I think they're probably one of the best looking seats I've seen in a ute for a very long time. So yeah, it's not really a hard ute to live with. Like most utes out there are either too big, too noisy, and other factors that really make them a very difficult car to live with on a day-to-day basis. But this BT50 is very, very easy. So what's the fuel economy like then? Well, look, Mazda do claim 8 liters per 100 Ks, but honestly, guys, you're going to expect anywhere between 9 and 10, depending on how you drive. This has the optional bull bar, and I was honestly expecting way more, but I'm getting 9.1 liters per 100 Ks, which is pretty bloody decent. In terms of safety tech, well, you have a lane departure warning, lane keeping assist, guided cruise control, etc., etc., etc. If you want to read all of it, go to my written review in the description below and you can read all of it. There are two things out of the safety features that do get on my nerves, and number one has to be the emergency braking system, which is like an overprotective parent. It literally gets in the way when you don't even need it to, and it can actually cause an accident in the first place. Like I was experiencing this BT50 just braking all of a sudden when I wasn't even near the car, which is really irritating, and it's just frustrating. However, you can turn it off by simply just going into the infotainment screen, which is very easy, thankfully, and it's not like a bazillion options to get to it. So that is really easy and nice. The other thing is, you'd expect spending over $71,000 for a Ute, a 360-degree camera. However, you just get a reverse camera, which it's a bit disappointing. What isn't disappointing, and which most journos will say is a bit prehistoric, is its engine. It gets the dependable, reliable 3-litre 4-cylinder turbo diesel motor from Isuzu that produces a respectable 140 kilowatts and 450 Newton meters of torque and sends it through a 6-speed automatic transmission. Look, this engine is old. You cannot get around that, but I do love it because it's just robust. It's gonna last the test of time. It's not going to break because it's low strung, where most modern diesel motors are high strung. We've got so much tech in them now in most Utes that who knows in the future if they are going to really last. Like, I'm being honest there. Like, we don't. And we're seeing some Utes, I'm not gonna mention which ones, that are having multiple problems because of all the tech and the engines that they have. So I cannot fault Mazda to, obviously adopt the Isuzu powertrain and, the whole setup, because they've chosen wisely. But it's a great setup. I really do love this engine. And yes, it's old, but it works. So why change something that's not broken? I will say, however, the gearbox could have been updated a bit because this 6-speed is a bit sluggish and it just doesn't suit the engine. It's just a bit frustrating. Nonetheless, you could put it into like a more of a, call it a Tiptronic mode. I wouldn't call it a sequential mode because it's not really that. And you can change down in the gears and then you can give it some. But see, do you see what I mean? Like that, I was in second, then to go to third. I already changed, and the third, it was like the gearbox was sleeping, and it was just like, oh, you want third gear? Oh, there it is. So that is a bit frustrating. Now, if you're on the market and you're looking for a dependable, reliable Ute that hasn't succumbed to the trends of buying sports Utes that are supposed to do lap records and 0 to 100 times in less than 7 seconds, then this Ute might be the Ute for you. And personally, I think it probably is the Ute for you because it's probably the best looking Ute on the market today. And that's my personal opinion because I really do love what Mazda has done with this front end. It looks absolutely gorgeous and I cannot fault it at all. So what's my final verdict on this 2025 Mazda BT50 SP? Well guys, I'll have to say this, it is the prettiest Ute on the market today and it finally outshines the Isuzu D-Max, making it the choice for you if you're looking for something that is dependable and reliable and will last the test of time and has the face to match. It no longer is a Ute that has looks that only a mother could love.